Hello everyone, it's Julie from Camelia Crafts Designs. Welcome and welcome back. I'm here today with another Christmas Scrapmas project. What I'm doing this year is I'm filling my Christmas journal with all the bits and bobs I've accumulated over previous years. So I'm buying nothing new for Christmas. And today we've got these little scrap pocket, scrap pockets with real button string closures. So I've just unwound that one. You saw I just popped Santa in there because it looks a bit lonely. Yeah, we'll put you there, Santa. Don't forget, we'll put you back in. Right, so it opens there. We've got some little bits of scraps of fabric there to help secure our buttons. It opens again and we've got a pocket there. You could pop another pocket on there and I think I did with one of others. And then we'll just put all our bits and bobs and scraps inside. We've made it from our scraps of card that we've got left from other projects. So yeah. Call it little scrap pockets with button string closures. All you'll need is some scrap paper, some buttons. They don't even have to match. Whatever twine you've got lying about. I've used some gold there and I've used some jute twine there. There isn't even any measuring. Yeah, you can make them any size you want. And yeah, if you want to know how, stay tuned and I'll show you. So here we are, scraps galore. I've got some rather big scraps. That's because I used to make an awful lot of journals before I started YouTube and then sell them on Etsy. I don't make so many now. I'm just making up bits to go in them. So you've seen the end product, so hopefully you can follow what I'm doing a little bit better. Let's just move some scraps over. Got lots of them. Right, I've grabbed a few bits of card. For this first one, it doesn't matter if the paper's directional. I'm going to make the top and bottom part. But what you'll want to do if your paper's directional is make sure that you put your paper right way around when you've done. Oh, that obviously weren't cut very straight when it were originally cut. I'll sort that out. So I'm just folding that up. This piece of paper, I've already measured it. It's 4 inches wide. I imagine I was making some 6 by 8 inch journals. That's my standard size for travellers notebooks. So I've got an awful lot of these strips that are 4 inches by 12 inches. That's straight, and that'll be straight enough when it's done. So I've folded it up and I'm now left with a piece of ephemera that's just over 6 3/4 by 4 inches wide. But the size is it's not important. You can make these with any piece of paper you've got. I'm going to round this top corner because I like the look. Offensive corners and all that. Don't know why I find them offensive. So that's that. I mean, that corner were battered anyway because it's been hanging around in my stash for I don't know how long. I really don't. I think the first Christmas journals I made to sell on Etsy was 2018. So it could have been 4 years. And I didn't tend to buy new papers then. I used to get a lot of my papers from a place in UK called Every Craft's a Pound. Now, with inflation and cost of living and all that, it's now changed its name to Every Craft's a Bargain. Because not everything's a pound. So, that's that. Now, I want an insert piece. Yeah, I don't want to put ephemera in this and have it falling outside. So, I want to put another piece inside. So, I need a piece that, yeah, it doesn't have to be exact height. I'm happy with that. Oh, I don't like that. I like that side. Really don't like that side. So I don't think I'm going to like that when that opens up and I see that. No, that's so not Christmassy. So let's find a different wider piece. We've got that. That's in your eyes funny, that, wouldn't it? Oh, that's nice. That's nice. Keeps with this colour. And it just happens to be right size. That was not planned, I promise you. Yeah, it's not quite the same height as that. It is. We're just really making a crisscross of 2 bits of card. That's 6 1/2. Yeah. And I want it to be 4 inches. It's just under 4 inches that. I've cut it a bit dodgily. I'll get my scoreboard out for this one. I do have one somewhere kicking about. Here we go. So grab your scoring tool, missus, wherever that is. I'll use this paintbrush, that'll do. If you can't find your scoring tool. I've tidied up. It's one of them. You tidy up, you can't find anything. Well, every video I've lost a tool. Here we go. It were hiding. There we are. Someone asked me about this tool and what it was. This one actually came with a Fiskars embossing board. One end's bigger than other. The narrow end's not so good for creasing because you can pop through card. The fatter end's perfect. That's good if you just want to slightly mark your card. You know, if you want to place something. Yeah, I don't know if I've said that already in a video. Right, I just want to place this card and I want to score it. I'm going to score it at 2.5 first. That's because I want my paper to overlap. You'll see what I mean in a minute. Score it at 2.5 and then I'm going to score it at 6.5. Yeah, then I'm going to turn it back and fold it like so and like so. Oh, that, I didn't plan that either. Really didn't plan that. That's mad. That fits. Wow, that fits. And that's how I'm going to have it. My initial idea was I was going to have it so it just overlaps that. But that will do just as well, won't it? Do I want it that way or do I want that colour showing? Let's have a look. Oh, I think I want that colour showing because it's, you can see the little reindeers and Love Arts better, can't you? Yeah, I'm going to have that one showing. So, that's that. Now, this centrepiece, if you want, you can put a thumb notch in the top of that and you can have another pocket down there. So, should we do it? Yeah, we might as well. Grab a circle punch. Which one did we get? We grabbed the 1.5 inch. So, I'm just going to pop a circle in there. Melina did something very similar to this on Scrapbusters. I remember it, there were little ones. Yeah, so that can be a pocket. Yeah, we like that. Yeah, we do. So I'm going to glue this one on. I think I want to round those corners first, because, you know, offensive corners again and all that. I'm going to use my medium one. That's a 1/4 inch. It's same as the small corner if you've got the We Are Memory Keepers corner rounder. But I love this one. Love it. Any tools I use, I've been getting a lot of questions lately about where to get things. If you look in my description underneath every video, there's a description. You click, you can see some little dots and it says more. Click that and you can get all the links to all products I use. Mostly I buy off Amazon. I have linked some products I've bought other places other than Amazon on Amazon. You know, things I bought years ago from shops. Things I don't even know where I bought them from. Right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put glue down the sides and along the bottom of that. And I'm going to place it in here. I'm not doing any inking on this. I'm not doing any inking in my Christmas journals. Not like with vintage photo and walnut stain to make things grungy. We don't need Christmas to be grungy. We want some nice bright colours. I might ink the odd thing, you never know. So I may have just lied when I said I'm not going to ink out. I'm going to do some stenciling, I think. Get some bright coloured inks out, your Christmassy colours. The 3 usual suspects. Right, so I'm just going to put this just slightly, I'm even in shot, yeah. Just slightly above the crease. But then I'll fold that up as I place it. Needs to go smidging over that way. I fold that up. I know it's not going to interfere with that folding. And there we have that. I think you can see this is a teeny bit wider than my top and bottom flaps, but I'm really not going to spit dummy out over that. I'm really not. I can live with that. My intention is to glue this down onto a page anyway. Clean the mat. So that's that, that's that, and that's that. Right. So now we can pop a tag or something down there and we can fill this with all sorts of bits and bobs. This is my idea, like that can go in. What else we got? That can't go in because it's too big. Yeah, we can pop that in, pop these in, then we can fold it in and everything will stay contained within this little pocket. Pocket. Yeah. I mean, again, nothing new. This idea has been done numerous times by numerous people before. But I just thought it'd be nice to do it with actual buttons for a change. instead of the circle as a card. Right, so to make sure that my buttons are not going to come through my cardboard, let's decide which buttons we're going to use first. This needs a popper colour, doesn't it? But I don't know whether that colour needs to be green or red. I mean, we don't have to use the same, but I think I might. Yeah, don't mess, Julie. You've just picked the first 2 buttons. Use the first 2 buttons you picked. I really like that they've got green eyelets in. Woo, now they've fell off. So I'm now going to grab, I've already grabbed a few scraps. Just a few scraps of my linen. Now you can use anything. You could have a patterned piece. I just want to use that. And I'm going to glue this onto the back, so that when I sew my button on, it's not going to pull through the paper and, yeah, basically ruin your piece. And I'm going to glue it with my Elmer's glue sticks. This one does glue fabric. So I'm just going to glue a circle there, pop this on. Yeah, in fact, I don't mind that little fringy bit. I think I quite like that little fringy bit hanging out there. Yeah, could have a bit more hanging out. Yeah, let it all hang out. And I'm going to do the same with this bottom piece. There you go. Let it all hang out, woman. It's not even straight. Do I care? Not really. I like that. They're not even lined up, but do you know what? I don't care. That's that. That's that. Now, I did find, look at that. This is the smallest little piece of gold thread in the world ever. I do have a large packet of this. Where that large packet is, I do not know. But I'm going to sew my buttons on with this. Right, so it's time to get the needles out. I want a needle that's not going to make too giant a hole in my paper, but it's got an eye big enough for me to actually get this thread through. So that's that. I shall... Ooh, I'm just going to go and pop and get my needle threader. Pause 2 ticks. Here we've got needle threaders here. I knew that needle threader wasn't on my desk because I'd had it downstairs in the living room mending. Right. So I'm going to grab a bit of this gold thread, get some snippy scissors. I hope the needle threader will work with this gold thread. I haven't tried it. If it doesn't work, I'll have to get something else. I'll have to get something else. I bought this gold thread. Wow. It must be 15 years ago. I don't think it's going to work with this needle threader. It's too fancy. I think now I've naffed my needle up, naffed my needle. Oh, we've done it. We've done it. It did work. Yeah, I bought it years ago. No, it's not gone through. I don't know how this needle threader works, but it don't want to work with that, does it? So I'm going to have to get a needle with a bigger eye. Oh, I've got one of these. This is a proper bodkin. It's not pointy. I would call it pointy ones a bodkin, sharp ones. And I was corrected. I don't mind being corrected when I'm wrong. Don't happen often. Oh, no, I'm not really that arrogant. But I do have a sign in my craft room that says, I may be wrong, but I doubt it. No, I'm not that kind of person. Tell me if I'm wrong. I get things wrong. Nobody's perfect, are they? Right, so I've finally threaded that needle. That were a waffle fest. We like a bit of waffling though, so I'm told. Right, I'm going to place that on. I'm going to go in from the top and through because I want... Get your little bit of foam, woman. Get your bit of foam. I like to have bits of foam underneath when I'm... There you go. Then you're not going to hurt your finger, are you? That looks good. Now I'm going to put 2 holes. They're ready. I'm just going to make them a little bit bigger by... You see what I'm doing? Just moving my needle round. Then I shouldn't have any resistance when I try and go through with all this thread. So that's that one. I want to tie the thread in a little bow on front, so I'm leaving my ends that side. I can see where that hole is. Oops, I've dropped my button. Oh, drop it. Don't drop it. This is not the neatest, most professional button sewing tutorial on YouTube ever. But then I wasn't going for that, were I? And I'm going to go through one more time. I'm going to go through the same hole. There we go. And back again. And because I've got that little bit of fabric behind, it's not going to pull through. And you could put another piece of card behind. I think I did that when I put the closure on the actual journal. Now I'm just going to tie that. I'll tie it in a knot so that if my bow comes undone, my button's not going to fall off. And you don't have to do a bow. Whee. That's far bigger than I want. I like a bit of sparkly bling at Christmas and a few bows. Then I'm going to snip that off. I know I've wasted some, but yeah, I won't faffing. Oh, I like that. And I'm going to put the same button. I'm going to do it exactly the same on there. I know some of you like to watch things twice, so yeah, I'm not going to fast forward. I'm not going to pause. I ain't going to do it without you. Lost my needle, like. And I'm not even bothered if that's not perfectly in the middle. I'm just eyeballing it each time. I don't waste time straightening stuff. Straight enough. My motto. Did that? Yeah, it did go through fabric. You know, because I didn't get fabric on it middle. But yeah, it's still where it needs to be. Right, let's try threading this again. Get a bit of string. Oh, someone asked me to show you how I thread my needle to leave a loop. So when I've done faffing with this button, I'll show you. And I had a lady who said she's been sewing for like, was it 30 odd years? And had never seen it done like that. That's, yeah. I'm a bit of a, I tend to assume if I know something, everybody else already knows it. Does that make sense? Oh, somebody already knows it. I was taught to do it like that when I used to do cross stitch. I think I did it in a book. I don't think an actual person taught me. Oh, I've made a faff with that again. Just stay there. It's very, I don't know, it's rough, this. It wants to stick to everything, this. Oh, thread, look at that. Can I save that? Oh, look at that. I thought it had pulled all the way through then. If I were doing this on my own, I'd have it up to my face. If I seem a bit awkward, I won't be doing it flat on a desk like this. And I still need a bit more of that. There we go. I need enough to do my tie my knot and make my bow. That's one knot. Take needle off now, it really helps. 2 knot. Wee, wee, wee. And make a bow. I feel like I'm on Blue Peter. Blue Peter, children's TV programme in the UK. They used to do a lot of crafts and DIY. And it always, and the presenters were, you could tell some of them just weren't into crafts and DIY. Things quite often went wrong. I think I'd have been fabulous on Blue Peter. Right, so that's that. Do you know, I was going to do some more decorating on this, but I really don't think it needs it. Just the coloured buttons and the little bit of sparkle. I now just need some twine. I would like to use this, but it's a bit, I don't know what it is. It's a bit summit. Plus I've lost it. Where's it gone? Where did spooler it go? Could be anywhere. I've got this habit of flinging things out it way. Let's see whether we can do it. Yeah, there's enough left. So we'll go there. Round there. Oh, yeah. I think that does look okay, doesn't it? So, button string closure with real buttons. That were quite quick, weren't it? So I think we need to do another one. Yeah. Let's find some more paper and do another one. I think this time I'm going to do a smaller one. So I will use some real proper scraps. I've got this piece, well, it's a piece of scrap, but I really like that. And I want to finish cutting that down, I think, and use that. Yeah, grab your big chopper, woman. Big chopper. Oh, sorry about the big glaring expanse of white. My camera really doesn't like that. It wants me to reset all my lighting again. Oh, I can do another 4-inch one with that. So that'd be a bit cheaty, wouldn't it? I'd be making one exactly the same size. And what I really want to do is make a smaller one. So what shall we use instead? I've got some different reindeers. Oh, I like that one. Oh, I like that with Poncy Watsits, as I call them. Poinsettia, is it? Poncy Watsit. I'm going to make that one 2 3/4. Yeah. Oh, I like the inside of that. A lot of these papers were from the works in UK. They're not posh, expensive papers. Or like I say, from the Every Craft's a Pound. So that does seem to have a right and a wrong way. So I'm going to fold that down at the top. I'm wondering if I might have enough to go across the inside with this as well. Let's see. So this measures 2 3/4 wide. If I were to cut it at 6, no, it wouldn't be long enough. But I'll cut this down to... I'll cut it down to, say... I don't know, let's just cut... I'm going to cut it down to 8. So I'll cut 4 inches off it. So that's 2 3/4 by 8. It's hard to tell your measurements, you know, when I'm making it up as a crafter lunch. That were my scoreboard fell. So let's fold that down. If we can get that up off table, we'll fold it up. Come on. Fold that up. I like that. Get the corner round it. I'm still going to use the medium, sorry. That's it. And there's no inking again on this one. I don't think it's necessary. I like that. Now let's find a different piece to go across the middle. So I'm going to measure how high that's ended up. That's ended up being 4 3/4. So I want a piece that's at least 4 3/4 high, and we'll match colour wise with that. Can you see what I'm rifling through? Oh, we've got that. I think that's too... No, I want something more red. I like it, look at that, but I know at back of it's bright white. No, not that. Oh, what's that? Oh, that's... I don't know, will that green look good? No, it just doesn't go. So 3 days later, I'm going to choose a bit of paper I think I might use. I know that's white, but I want to use these. I think that'll look good. Yeah, I'm going to use them. Oh, no, spotted something. Look at that. Look at that. I like that. I want to use that. Will that be wide enough? Yes, if I have it that way up. So it's got to be at least, how high? 4 3/4. And it's 2 3/4 wide. Oh, I should remember that. Why don't I jot these things down? 4 3/4 by 2 3/4. Don't forget it, woman. I've got like umpteen post-it notes here now. 4 3/4 by 2 3/4. Save me having to measure 27 times that will, missus. Don't lose it now. Because that'll be next thing. I've lost my post-it note. I don't know what I'm doing. So, grab my little trimmer. I'm going to cut this to... I'm going to cut it to 4 high. Yeah, I think 4 high will do us nicely. Then we'll still have room to make that back pocket, won't we? And then that's wide enough to make our foldings. Oh, I like that. I think I may like that better, and then have the mistletoe on the inside. Yeah, mistletoe. It's holly. Jeepers, does this woman know anything? So yeah, so grab your scoreboard. I don't know whether I'm going to be as lucky scoring this as I were first one, because I really can't be bothered to work it out. So I'm going to score it at 1.5. We know that's 2 3/4 wide, so I want to count 1, 2, 3, and come back a quarter. Oh, oh, oh! I don't know my own strength. You silly woman. I'll put that down to plastic fatigue, because these are pretty old. I mean, look at that. Look at that rubber's gone, hasn't it? That's how old my tools are. I'm going to have to buy another one of them. Luckily, it didn't hurt me. Hecky thump. I can still use that though. Look. Yeah. Honestly, it's older than my kids and the 16. So it's had a good innings. Right, let's fold that over. Oh, yeah. So this time I'm going to cut that off. Whew, that way. Little impromptu accident. Oh, we're going to have it other way, aren't we? That way. Not that it would have made much difference, but one never knows, does one? There we go. We'll round the corners. Yeah, rubber fatigue, not worse. Causes no end of problems. Oh, I said I was going to show you how to thread that needle. I'll do it when I do this one. Sorry, I forgot. Honestly, memory, sieve, got a lot in common. They have, my memory and a sieve. Yeah, I like that. I don't know now which way I want it. This is Faff Fest. Julie's Christmas. I know I want the green. Yeah, it were a bit too uncolourful before. I want the green. Yeah. Hey, so get your circle punch, woman. I'm going to punch a semicircle there to turn that into a pocket. Then I'm going to put the glue down each side and along the bottom. So where's the glue? I've got 2 of these on go now. I lost it. So then I got a new bottle out and filled it, and then I found other one. So now if ever one clogs up on camera, oh, that's coming out pretty fast. I think it's because it's pretty full. Yeah. Yeah, if one clogs up on camera, I will have a spare. If I can find it. I'll probably have lost spare by then. I don't think that'd surprise any of you. It certainly wouldn't surprise me. Right, so pop that in again. Folding bottom up and then just checking width. Looking good. Straight enough. So that's that. We'll let that set. And something's beeping, I don't know what it is. Might be a delivery from Amazon. And we'll pick some buttons. Right, what we're going to have. I just like the big, bold, bright ones. I'm not sure red's the right thing for that, though. Yeah. Just think on when you're doing these how thick your buttons are. I mean, my December journal has not got a lot of pages in, so I can afford to have a few chunky items in it. I think that button's just too big. I like that one. And are we going to faff or are we going to stay with what we got? Just stay with what you got. Oh, that's nice. But not on this one. Too much red on there already. I think I'll stick with them 2 I've got. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, well, thinking that's a bit small, but that, I like it. So they're the buttons I'm going to use, both green on this one. So I'm going to grab my bits of fabric again. This time, I think I'm going to use a bit of this. Can I? No, matches with outside, but I don't like it against that. Just use cream, woman. Use cream. Go with your first instincts. Your first instincts are usually correct. Now, that's a very big piece. But do I care? Not really. It will still fit. Get some glue stick on. So it's exactly the same as the first one I made. It's just on a smaller scale. Hopefully, it'll just illustrate that you don't have to know what size this is going to be. You don't have to have a particular size of paper. Just fold it and see what occurs. If you want to fit it to a particular part of your journal and you need a particular size, then just make sure you measure between the two folds. You can always fold it over a little bit more and then trim that down a bit. I'm showing a lot more fabric here, but do you know what? I like it. I think I like it, so I'm going to leave it. Like this one, I'm not going to sew with gold because we've just run out of gold. So I'm just going to sew this with regular thread. I've just got my beige, boring beige, shall we call it. And I'm not going to leave this with bows on the outside. So I'll thread this needle like I did last week for my clusters. So I've got one length of thread. Just notice my battery's going. Right, I've got one length of thread. I'm just going to pause and then I'm going to come back when I've charged the phone a little bit. And I'm back. I've got it charging. You don't even want to see it set up. I've got to get my phone charger in while filming. Right, what we're doing, I was showing you how to thread your needle with one piece of cotton and leave a loop. So you just basically get a length of cotton, put the two ends together. Sorry about the people who this will be like sucking eggs for, but apparently not everyone's seen it. So you're left with that loop. I've got my needle. I don't need my needle threaded for this because this is a really big hole in this needle, she says. Yeah, I did it. So I've threaded it. So I've got two pieces of cotton there, two there, and that one goes down to a loop. So let's put the holes in our paper ready to sew this button on. That looks about right. So stabby stab. Sorry if my big fat fingers get in the way. Stabby stab. Just make the holes a bit bigger like so. I can't find, oh, there it is. Right, so this time I'm going to come in through the back. There you go. Through the back to the front, up into the first hole of my button, down through that hole of my button, down through the second hole. And I've still left that other piece of cotton on the back with the loop on. I'll just pull that through a little bit, and I'm going to let that keep pulling, and then I'm going to pass my needle through that loop. Then pull it like so. So you've started off your thread without a knot. And that, like I said, that was something I learned when I started cross stitch, because it makes it neater. So there we go. Now make sure when you go back in, don't go back in that same hole that your thread's coming out of. Yeah. So you've pulled that loop across. It's wrapped around this thread. Then go back in that hole, and your thread will still be secured. That's how I do it for my clusters. And I'm just going to go through 2 or 3 times this time, because I'm not tying a knot on front. So I want to see a little bit of thread crisscrossing my button, because I like the look of it. So I think we went around 4 times then, didn't we? Yeah. And then this time, because I'm going to put a button string closure around the front, I don't want to tie this off round there and get things all tangled. But I am going to go up just like so, not through the button, just behind the button, like that. I'm going to go around a couple of times, and then I'm going to go back in through the hole to the back, like so. And then I'm just going to make a couple of passes underneath there. There we go. Then I'm going to snip it off. And because I haven't glued, if you watch my clusters, you'll have seen me put a little dot of glue underneath the button. I'm just going to put a tiny dot there. Oh, come on. That's because I never put my pin in my glue. There we go. It'll soak into the fabric. You won't see it, but it'll just stop that thread coming undone. Belt and braces. I've got that off Fiona at Miss Paint-A-Lot. She says that all the time. So that's the bottom button, and let's do the top button. It's got an anchor on. I don't want the anchor, so I'm going to sew it that way around. Now this is a 4-hole button, but I'm not going to sew all 4 holes at first. I'm going to do 2, get it secured, and then I'll do the other 2. Otherwise, I know I'm going to get my knickers in a twist, because I just will. I'll do them like that. I won't go crossways. I'll go up and down and up and down. So that hole, that hole. Let's thread the needle. Sorry if this bit's a bit boring now, but I'll show it you once more. I know I need to see things a couple of times for him to... So that's my loop. Yeah, for him to sink in. The older I get, the harder it is to learn stuff new. Right. So I'm going to come in from the back. Go on, you find it. No, I can't. I'm going to have to look. Oh, I forgot to make them bigger, didn't I? That's why I couldn't find it. I like to do that when I'm sewing card. So we're going in, up through one buttonhole. No, wrong way, wrong way. We don't want to see the anchor. So up through one buttonhole, down through another buttonhole, down through the hole in the card. We're not tangled, are we? No. And I'm going to go through that loop because it's short and I don't want it going back through to the other side. Always straight, not tangled. Straight enough. So pull that. Now this time I'm going to go back through that hole. Down. So 2 or 3 passes. Now I've got my button on nice and straight. Now I'm going to put the other 2 holes in. I'm still going to go back down that one first. I'll go across there because I want it to look nice and neat on front. I didn't make them holes bigger. Rest your hand on the table, woman. Wow, I haven't got checks. But to be honest, it's a lot easier if you pick a button with 2 holes. Pick a button with 2 holes. It really will make your life a lot easier. But we do like that look, don't we, of the button having 4 holes. One more. That corner. That's enough. And I'm just going to go in one of the holes. Up behind that button. Couple of wraps round. Back in again. Sew behind them threads a couple of times. I mean, because you can, well, I'm saying you can glue it, but I don't really think you can for this method, could you? Because if the glue pops off, there we go. Then I'm going to snip it and just pop a little dab of glue on. Just a little. I mean, if you want to cover that up, I quite like the look of the sewing on the back. I'm not going to fold that. Like, that's the first one I did. You can't even see where the glue is. Yeah. So that goes up, that goes up. I like that. And then we'll put another piece of twine on. I think I will just use this. I've got a piece of natural jute twine here for this one. I'm just going to let that glue dry before I go folding it in. Right, while I was letting my camera charge, I made another. And I made this one slightly different. You know how the piece had been too long and I just cut it off? Well, I've left it this time and folded it over to make a little pocket. So there's an extra little pocket there. I'll just... Sorry if you can see my charging wire keep coming in short. I'll put another... So I did it exactly the same as the last one, but instead of folding it over and then cutting it, I then folded it again to make a pocket. So, yeah, you can do that. You could put lots more pockets in. You could decorate these. You could make them from plain card. You don't have to make them Christmassy. You can make them from anything. We're just feeling a bit Christmassy because it's nearly Christmas. I feel extra Christmassy because I went to... Now, anyone in the UK who lives locally or perhaps not so locally will know what I saw when I went to Meadow Hall. Yeah, it's a big shopping centre in Sheffield, Meadow Hall. Oh. Yeah, we went yesterday. It were nice, but it were far too busy for my liking. I can perhaps do it once a year when it's busy. We got a few bits and bobs. My youngest we're meeting a friend to go at pictures, cinema pictures as we call it. Right, so that's that. I'm not going to finish making this one with you. I just thought I'd show you that. So that will then open when glued in, and you've got an extra pocket there. Yeah, you could put a pocket there, you could put pockets there. Do what you like. Right, I want to finish this one. I want to get the button string closure finished. So I just happen to have got, I don't know how long that piece of twine is. I'm pulling it and I don't know where it's coming from. It's just one of them things. I'm going to tie it. In fact, no, I'm not even going to tie it. I'm just going to wrap it. We can quite happily have that end. Wrap it a couple of times. Then I can go round, round, round. Perhaps that's it. Once more, that'll do. This time it will go off to the side. Oh, look at that. Magnetic. Why does everything become magnetic whenever it's been near a magnet? I think I've just answered my own question, haven't I? I do come out with some things. Yeah, there we go. I like that one. Let's find the first one. I think I've buried that now. Look at the difference in size, but I like them. And I'll finish that one off. I'll stick some buttons on it. That one, I don't know what colour button that'll end up having. Perhaps a really dark green. Yeah, oh, I like them. I'll sew them on and you'll see them in the thumbnail. Now, we put a bit of rubbish in that one, didn't we? We need to put a bit of rubbish. It's not rubbish, bit of scrap. Scrap. Don't forget the S. Christmas Scrapmas. Have I done it upside down? No. I just need to turn it upside down. That's it. Silly woman. Right. So, I've got some bits and bobs here. Let's open this. I'll be using all these bits and bobs decorating my journal. Oh, she's cute. She can go in. We'll put a few baubles in. Put a snowflake in. Oh, look at him. He's a die cut. Is he one of the wise men? One of the wise... Let's call him one of the wise people. Yeah. Let's get all... Just for now, we'll pop that in there so you get the idea of what you can do. So that folds in, down. And yeah, I quite like that. I wish I'd left more fabric hanging out on the other one now, because I really like that look. And there we have it. Button string pockets. Real pockets with real button string closures. So I hope you like them. Give them a whirl. You can make them any size. It's another don't really need to measure project. You can just guesstimate. Guesstimate, that can be the word of the day. Guesstimation. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in a couple of days with another Christmas Scrapmas. Thank you. Bye.